question 12, I know it looks really difficult. One of the skills we're going to develop, hopefully in this unit, is learning how to see a problem like question 12 and just break it down into different parts. And really the only way to be successful with all these kinds of questions when we're dealing with properties of exponents is to think about one thing at a time and organize your thoughts so you know what to think about when. Now, the other thing I'll mention that's kind of good news is in terms of like what to think about when, we are going to let the order of operations guide us. We're going to still rely on please excuse my dear Aunt Sally when we're trying to simplify. I will point out we're simplifying, we're not solving. We're not trying to get an x by itself. We're just going to simplify an expression, which means we're doing PEMDAS in the order we're taught, starting at the top and working our way down. So as I look at question 12, I notice there's two parts here, this yellow part and this pink part, and this yellow part, there's nothing I can really do, so I'm going to put that out of my mind and focus just on this pink part. Now, this pink part probably does make your brain freak out a little bit, but really at its core, it's not much different from question 11, and the questions remain the same. What are you being asked to do, and what are you going to do with those exponents? So in that pink part, what we're being asked to do is raise this expression to a power, to the -3 power, which means with the exponents, we're going to multiply those exponents together. So the first thing I would think about, after putting all that yellow stuff out of my mind, is multiplying these exponents together. So x to the -3 to another -3, I'll multiply those two exponents together, and then I'll do the same thing on the bottom. Y squared to the -3 will be y to the 2 times -3. And I'll simplify this before moving forward. So -3 times 3 is 9. And then 2 times -3 is -6. And at this point we can kind of do different things. Some people take care of the negative exponent right away. Some people open the problem up. You do have a little bit of freedom here. But the point is I took care of just one thing, and that thing was, what does it mean to raise this to the -3 power? So I am actually going to now incorporate this yellow portion just to see what I'm up against here. Okay, that's pretty crazy. And what I see is I have a multiplication problem here. And granted, it's been a long time since you've been asked to multiply fractions together. Long time. It's been a long time. When you multiply fractions together, you multiply the two numerators together, and they make the new numerator, and you multiply the two denominators together, and they make the new denominator. So really, when I look at this, I also just kind of see it as two separate problems that are really no different from the problems that were up here when we were asked to multiply things together. If this was easy for you, what we're being asked to do here, you just have to learn to see it as the same type of thing. I'm going to go ahead and multiply these two things together. Now, of course, we're dealing with exponents, so since I'm being asked to multiply, I'll add those exponents, x to the 3 plus 9. And then I'll move on to the bottom as well. So y to the 6th times y to the -6. When I multiply these things together, I'll add those exponents together. So y to the 6 plus the -6. And then we'll get into the final answer. So this is going to end up equaling x to the 12th. And then what happens here actually is we end up getting y to the 0 power. And here's where you get to try to test yourself. Do you remember what it means to raise something to the 0 power? What happens? And when you raise something to the 0 power, it just is going to equal 1. So, and we don't usually write 1 in the bottom of a fraction. It's kind of usually a waste of ink. So essentially, these y's cancel each other out. And our final answer is just going to be x to the 12th. So I'm not going to say that this is an easy problem. This is a problem that challenges even my best students all the time. But I will just encourage you guys, if you, as Steve taught you when you were young kids, if you use your mind and take it a step at a time, you can do anything you want to do. And even things you don't want to do, like this problem, you can do that too. Just focus on one part at a time and repeat the questions. What am I being asked to do? What am I going to do with the exponent? One thing at a time. All right. Good luck, my friends.